Also, playing the same character every game is incredibly boring. I don't think I could ever do that. Unless it was like, you know, we're like one level off and I was like, alright, I could play 5 games with a character for some reason. What plays ADC? It's only Murdoch. That's not true. I see him play Kira a decent amount too. He do play a lot of Murdoch though. Maybe he got the Murdoch mastery, so he stopped playing it. He was trying to get all the ADCs. Did twice he burned out Rev and Kira. I mean, Kira is a little bit of a wild one. Rev I can respect. Did he not do his 5 camp? Why is he level 2? He didn't do something because he was not level 3 and he should have been. We've seen him play Kira. I've seen him play Kira a decent amount. Maybe I'm thinking of Woots, but I know they do OQ sometimes. I always mix them both up because I played Edge tournament with it. Was it the Hunt? I think it was called. And they were on my team. So I did Wraith and Rev, then said fuck it, I'm out. He still plays a little bit. He only plays Wraith though only. Although to be fair, he has like a ton of games on Drongo and shit. So like, I mean, he'd probably get it eventually if he played the game anyways. Run, get him! It's so Jover for them. Honestly, that's gotta feel terrible. That also has to feel terrible. The jungle diffs this game. Immaculate. Wait, give me a right click though. Oh my god, I'm so bad. In some cases, it's good for you because you're new to the MOBA genre. You need to learn a role first. I mean, that's kind of how it goes, right? Like, you learn a role. I think, like, for most MOBAs, it's probably easier to learn, like, a character than it is to learn the role. And then you transition the character into the role. So, like, sticking to one is usually pretty good. Like, I knocked up Save Night Cheeks. I'm pretty sure I was out either way. Because he missed the auto after the blink, so he didn't have red on me. Like, those slow. So I don't think he could have actually killed me. Miss Gadget, how he Fate decorated. They're your favorites. Fate 2. Are you a console player, I imagine, then? So you haven't played them yet? You said I like this on OG Paragon. Hey, coming December 5th. All those characters are currently in the game too, so you don't gotta wait like some of the other characters. You see Monolith, Garbage V42 update. I didn't play original Paragon, so I don't really know too much about it. Played till server shut down. I can respect that. What'll be the next character? It's a mid laner. They haven't announced which character it is yet, though. About time. Yeah, I think the last mid was Morgish, I believe. We'll see who it is. There's like a few characters it could be. It could be like Iggy and Scorch. It could be Grim. It could technically be Aurora or Zinx as well, apparently, I'm told. Zinx was a mid laner as well. I don't know much about Zinx, though. Probably the character I have the least info on. Always played for 3 hours before they shut the servers down, or at the boys. You mean like the day that they shut the servers down, or like in general? Here's like a player can point to V42 and say it's where the game died. Which update was that? Like what happened? Is that the update where they added the cart system? Or is that the update where they changed from Legacy to Monolith? Did they shut the servers down? I don't know if I've ever really played a game where the servers closed the day that I was playing it. I feel like normally if I know a game's gonna like close, I don't play it. Like I don't play on the server day that it closes. I don't know if I've ever had a game like that. I feel like the closest would be like playing RS3 after they transferred my account. Before they added old school RuneScape. Oh man, I missed. That's a fail, Rampage ult. I do lose Rivers though. A bit sad. Change 6 card system to 3 card system. Drastic changes the gameplay. Yeah, I feel like limiting of items is usually a negative. So like I'm kind of like 50-50 with on Pred. Like having 5 items as opposed to 6. Some of them always like 50-50.
Yeah, back to the garage.
I'm surprised they have to put not put Kwong back into the game. I think part of that is because they said something about he was supposed to be in season 2, but they like couldn't get something to work correctly or something like that, so they might have had like a technical limitation. I think they also because he had a passive as his E, they don't have any characters in the game that currently have passives as abilities, so I assume they're giving him a new ability, which might have been a technical limitation that they were running into, like in some form of a new ability. So that's probably why. That would be my best guess at least, but I don't actually know. Turret characters are fun if they're done well. Depends. A turret should be an addition to a kit, not the primary point of the kit, in my opinion. Lost thousands of players one update and didn't want to revert it. Sometimes people are stubborn, you know. Usually not listening to people that play the game, usually a negative to the game. Vulcan from Smite was fun, Iggy was Iggy. Yeah, I feel like Vulcan from Smite is a perfect example of like A character that is not designed around the turret, but the turret adds value to the kit. It's like a perfect example. Okay.
Try this on.
The only like iterations I've seen from Iggy though were from like Fault and from OP, and I think he was not that interesting in either. And I think the fact that he has turrets that hit, oh motherfucker, turrets that hit in a 360-degree radius, I think is kind of bad design. I hope it's not like that in Pred.
Have a hat.
So Fortnite, I know they quick to do it. All these players. I mean, that's how it should be, right? Like you should listen to the people that play your game. I think it's fine to try stuff as long as you're quick to fix it if it doesn't work,
Try this on.
or like willing to revert it if it doesn't work.
Enemy tower under siege.
I think it's a bit of a fallacy pizza story, or a pizza story, a bit of a fallacy pizza delivery. That is a story that people say. You're talking about Tencent, I assume. Tencent one owns like everything for the most part. Like they have their fingers in everything. And if you're making money, you're making money. That's just the simple truth. So like I think that's a little bit of a fallacy.
Yeah, back to the garage.
I want to go stasis. Not really, honestly. If I get failted, I get failted, whatever. They're not making it. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not making enough, you get rid of it. But the fact that it was, like, competition for a different MOBA, I think is kind of, like, not accurate. Like, I don't think, like, it being a competition is the reason why they got rid of it. It was the fact that it wasn't making money, which, like, they kind of go hand in hand, but also not really.
How the turbos have taken.
Yo, Tony, thank you for the primer, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Oh, he got his crest already, too? But they're all so low. W, 3 for 2. Did they get fanged though? No, we stole it. Let's go. Actually huge.
Try this on.
I don't think that kills, but it is what it is. Get a lot of tier 1 pressure. I'll clear one waving them back. Yeah, thank you again for the primer, Tony. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the bird nest, man. Sorry, you subbed right as I was about to game. That's unfortunate. I bet like I kind of just got cooked, no cap. Well, top-down game players can play third person. But I think like a better comparison in terms of like, what's it called? In terms of like the player base that you're looking to attract this Smite, I think that's like the best comparison. I think comparing it to League and Dota is like a little bit disingenuous. Yeah, good morning, Wintaggy. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday so far. Wait, it's Sunday, right? It's not Saturday? Yeah, it's Sunday. Okay, I have to make sure I'm not just being an idiot today. It wouldn't be the first time. Third person's better. I mean, it has its positives. It also has its negatives. Same with top down. Although I think third person has a very largely untapped market. I think League and Dota kind of have a monopoly on not third person. Or like first person MOBA for that like point. Although I think first person's kind of basically just Overwatch at that point. You're not walking to the wave, man. How'd my ward just disappear?
My favorite invention.
Should be dead. We win those. Run. We're looking to jump over the pit. See if we can actually hit it. Brrr. We did it. Sorry, help me! He missed the hook. We're alive. Solo bolo and we get out. No issues.
Before you know it.
I did lose my flash, I guess. So maybe, you know, maybe we did lose a little bit, but that's all right. It was worth. Slid on him. Yeah, I thought I was gonna miss the jump, and I was like, fuck.
Tesla Dome at full charge.
Usually I miss the jump because I'm not fast enough. The blue buff's mine. Rest of the game. How do I grab duo wave? Well, does he stay? Unfortunately, I got spotted by the rampage.
Ride this on.
You don't want it. You don't want it. You don't want the business. Alright, you wanted the business and you got it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I told you you didn't want a piece. Hey, they want to listen. What does a man to do when they don't heed his warning? Oh, I fucking popped the right click too early. Trying to shut the wave so that he can not take so much.
Tesla Dome, good to go.
Run, Zaros. I still have vault if they over chase.
Ride this on.
You don't hit those. You're not him. You're also not him.
Have a hat.
You're dead.
Ride this on.
This we call cooked. Yo, good reclamation. That's PogChamp. And he's dead. We back. Alright, I'm like greeting way too much for him. But it's also like you could pad the stats a little bit, you know? A little damage here, a little damage there. I ain't gonna complain. Should have more item options for Gadget, like see, can you damage get more pen or something? I kind of feel like that's kind of what Magnify is, but it like is only on autos, which makes it kind of awkward. At least in terms of building. Ow. Actually, it hurt a lot more than I thought it was going to. Oh, it's big prime. I was gonna call it. What are we cooking? Some good meals, hopefully. Should have more items, period. Yeah, I think that's kind of like a downside of the game at the moment. It's just lack of builds. But it's like, I feel like lack of builds also comes from lack of like item slots. Like having 6 item slots definitely varies builds more because you have more like options to curve your build. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So there's a lot of like solid mage items that just don't get built because you only have 5 slots. Oh, he's actually different. Should be dead. I'm just gonna back while I can. We gotta add more items soon. I think Ace was talking about items not too long ago. I don't know what patch they'll be in, but I think he said that they were working on items. Point 13 confirmed. Is that a confirmation? Point 13 as items. Alright, now what items are they? Leak them. Confirmed it last week. Did they confirm it last week? I actually didn't know that. I didn't know it was confirmed. I must have missed a leak of that content in my DMs. Kappa. Go ahead and passive your text in our lockout and do 20% more damage to Sorry, bro. What the fuck? Look, all I want to know is, in point 13, are you guys finally fixing Bellica? That's all I care about, honestly. That's it. Make Bellica fun. And not cringe. That's all I want. Bellica's fine. Bellica's cringe as fuck. Steve, shut up. You don't even play the game. Steve is like every person in the Discord. They don't play the game, but they want to comment on shit. You don't even play the fucking game, Steve. Shut up. That's not actually true. Steve plays the game, but he don't play fucking mid. He plays fucking support. Like, your opinion's irrelevant in support, okay? A little hate on Bellica. She's almost so good, but she's just not. She's like almost so good. I feel like I'm using the drain mana too. You know, that's actually a really good, like, you just gave me a really good idea. What if instead of just draining your mana by default, it drained mana when you got hit by other abilities? So like, if I hit you with an ability, it then takes 5% mana from you or some shit. That way, you don't actually have to kill the drone. But it still does, like, it sucks extra when you get hit by other stuff. That's shit. That'd be an interesting concept to explore. Probably be pretty OP, but like, it's an interesting thought at the very least. Think about like a drone phase link to nearest enemy and drain mana. Yeah, that's not. There's a loss lane 99% of the time anyways. They just PvE. PvE? How my top damage every game then, Steve? Riddle me that, Batman. What is this guy doing, bro? What the fuck? Is he stuck on an invisible wall or something? Run! Ah, I couldn't jump it! No! No! I tried to jump it. I couldn't jump it. Fuck. Let me jump over fake you. I think it's the worst hero at the moment. Design-wise or like balance-wise. Two different things. And it's hard to say like worst hero. Like, it's kind of hard to say because I think every hero in the game is currently playable. So it's kind of hard to say. Did he get stuck? I think he was stuck on an invisible wall there. Both. Design-wise, Morigesh, like it's not even close. Worst design. In terms of like kit design. There's some other like really bad kit designs though, or like decisions in kits, in my opinion. That kind of come from like Paragon, mainly. As far as like actual character, like how bad they are, I'd have to look at the list. It's hard to say. I'm trying to take off the top of my head. Who is the worst character in the game? Who's a character that never gets played? Ever. It's really hard to say. I feel like Muriel. I think Muriel's bad in terms of like carrying the game, but she's actually pretty solid if you know how to play around it, and she's good. Like the Muriel is good. Gadget. I think Gadget's really good too. Gadget's one of the best late game characters. She's just like a late game character. That's kind of like her issue. I'm trying to think like who else exists. Like, it'd probably be Sparrow, but, like, Sparrow late game is also really good. But she just has a really bad early game. But it's, like, probably Sparrow. But, like, Sparrow's potential is really high. Oh, you mean she's, like, barely played? I don't know why that is, I'm gonna be honest. I think Gadget's kind of fun. It's weird that she's not played in this game, but she was, like, one of the most played characters in OP when I played. And like one of the most complained about characters in OP for like months. Maybe it's because I think the right click in OP, like it stops as soon as somebody would be hit by it. I think that's like the only difference I can think of. Plays different with travel mode? Not really. I think the only big difference is that the right click stops by itself when like somebody is in range to be hit. And then the only other difference is that you get movement speed every time you walk through. Like, it refreshes the movement speed from the gate. So if you walk through the gate, it refreshes the movement speed. And if an enemy walks through it, it just slows them instead of rooting them. I think those are, like, the only differences. The ult is, like, scaling to, like, the damage from the ult scales every time it hits. As opposed to, in, like, Pred, it's, like, static damage, but it, like, prot shreds. Instead of prot shredding, it, like, increases in damage on every hit. Same thing with the slow. That's like the only differences, like the only three differences. But like, I don't think those are like crazy different. Other than the ult like scaling every time it hits is definitely different. It's like the R&B in the whole of Cyan, right where it should be. Perfectly placed. Dude, when did we get mid inhib? What the hell? Dude, who is actually the worst character? I feel like there's a jungler I'm missing. Kallari. Kallari's probably the worst character in the game. At the moment. I knew I was missing somebody. I would say Kallari's probably worse than Sparrow right now. Doesn't mean you can't play Kallari, but I think she's like balance-wise in a bad spot, but I think it's good for her to be in a bad spot balance-wise because we're getting Counter's in there. Counter's really good actually. Competitively speaking, she was like a top jungler last PCC, and nothing's really changed since then. She's just not a mid laner. People play her mid or they try to play her off lane. She's not. She doesn't play those roles. She's a jungler. Where the confusion comes from. Now Shinbi's pretty good too. People just aren't good at playing with a Shinbi either. Shinbi's a character that you kind of have to know how to play around. You basically have to be able to take 4v5s and like let the Shinbi split push and take 1v1s. Because she's a really good 1v1 character.
It's like they're better picks than Countess like should be. I mean, Countess is very strong.
Like she was even banned in last PCC, but, like a fair amount. She's weak early, but she's really strong late game. But she has like some of the fastest clear in the game. And being able to go like Brimstone early is like really strong. Gadget's Zara Assault combo is kind of cracked. You have to like have flash, and then you just waste 2 ults on nothing.